Howard, thanks very much for inviting us here to your London offices today. You're National Head of Real Estate and Construction for RSM UK, but RSM is a much larger network of international companies. Can you just tell us a little bit about how that came into being?
Sure. RSM International, which is what the network is known as, is the 6th largest audit, tax and consulting business worldwide, and it comprises of around I think 120 countries, and we're in over 800 locations with about 40,000 staff around the world. So it's not an insignificant sized business. And the focus of the business is really on entrepreneurial, growth-focused organisations, and also we have a primary focus on the real estate sector.
Howard, you've been part of the business for 20 years. Can you maybe highlight some of the changes there have been in terms of business strategy?
Well, certainly some time ago, real estate was seen to be a focus area for us. And we recognised, certainly from a European point of view, that it was worthwhile actually expanding on that and forming a European real estate sector group to provide a seamless service for investors both within Europe and those that are wanting to invest in Europe from outside. It's cross-border and they don't have to worry about dealing with individual firms and individual relationships.
And is the reason that you've chosen to go down this sort of network partner route to build on the local expertise and depth of knowledge on each of these markets?
I think that's right. So, for example, in the UK, 10% of our total business is real estate, or from the real estate and construction sector, and a number of the other firms within Europe. It's a similar sort of proportion. So those firms clearly have strength in depth, can provide a lot of expertise across different service lines, so audit, tax, consulting, corporate finance, and therefore we feel if we can provide what we consider to be a seamless service cross-border, across all different jurisdictions, it makes it a lot easier for an investor that wants to look at a number of different locations, different countries.
You mentioned service lines there, Howard. Have you seen any changes in terms of the service lines that you're offering or clients are asking for?
For sure. So take the UK, for example. 10 years ago, our audit practice, which was probably the cornerstone of what we did, would account for over 40% of our business. It's now accounting for just over 20%. And that isn't to say that that has fallen in level, it's just all the other service lines have grown significantly. Certainly our tax practice is very strong, our consultancy practice is part of a growing business, and our corporate finance team goes from strength to strength.
Do you see this as being driven by client demand? Are clients really looking for a one-stop shop?
I think that's very much the case. I think if they've got confidence in the brand and in the firms that are looking after them, they feel more comfortable using a service line from within that organisation as opposed to going outside. So in the UK, 18 months ago, we formed our own legal practice, RSM Legal, and that we found to be a very strong offering.
Just taking a look at the market for a minute, are there particular tax issues that investors should be thinking about that might impact on their investments?
As far as tax is concerned, certainly in the UK, for example, we feel that the Treasury sees the real estate market as being a little bit of a cash cow. The real estate sector has been under attack from the Treasury over the last 5 or 6 years. This year particularly, from the 5th of April, we're seeing new interest restriction rules coming in for medium to large corporates. That's going to have a massive impact. We see an increase in land transaction taxes, so SDLT in the UK, and land transaction in other jurisdictions, and they have gone up. And you speak to my European colleagues, and that's probably the one big thing that we have in common regarding that. The interest restriction rules are part of the BEPS project, the international BEPS project, which is effectively anti-avoidance, and that's going to impact all the OECD countries.
Tell me a little bit about the growth plans of RSM International. Where are you now, and how do you see that develop?
Well, as far as the international network, so we're currently 6th largest worldwide, and I think the aim is to have the 6th largest firm in each of its locations. So some firms are larger than 6. Our US firm, for example, is the 5th largest firm in the US, and our Chinese firm is the 2nd largest firm in China. And there's an ongoing project of improving the quality of the firms and the quality offering around the world.
Good. Thank you, Howard, for sharing your views and also the strategies of RSM with us today. Thank you.
You're very welcome.